Hello and welcome again. This is day 97, I believe. Okay, 98. This is day 98 of my 365 days challenge, where I'll be like streaming for 365 days, and while also trying to like stream every single day, although it won't be possible, but I'll try my best basically. So far, my longest streak was like 50 days, I think, and is 50 days. I haven't crossed that. I tried for 60 days, but I did fail it again because of my internet issue. But that's not the point, because obviously 365 days is a lot longer in terms of like time frame, and a lot of things can go wrong in between that, and even maybe even I will not be alive or something. So it's like a very long time frame to like commit on a daily streak. Although I can try, though theoretically I will like face multiple situations where it won't be possible. So that's why I cannot promise a 365 days daily streak, but I will stream for 365 days while trying to like do it every single day, and that's the challenge. And also the challenge on top of this is the fact that I cannot quit or change my decision before reaching 365 days of streaming. Basically, I cannot like decide to like quit the streaming or to do something else or something. So I will try to like stream for 365 days and then finally decide what to do with my knowledge that I've gained via streaming, through streaming, or like for example, I think I've said this, one of the goal is to be able to like understand how the streaming works, and maybe then I'll be able to create some products for streamers, and that's one of the goal. But obviously it's a multi-layer process. I have a lot of things going in my mind. I haven't shared all of that, I think, but there's a lot going on. Then I'm letting you guys know basically. And yesterday we tried Affinity photo for the first time. The challenge, this is a challenge on top of challenge again, and there's one more you can see right on top of my head. It's like reaching 50 followers by the end of the year. Maybe it will be possible. Let me try it, I guess. Please help me if you are watching this on Twitch, and if you'd like me to achieve this goal and watch my content. Thank you so much for the follow in advance if I just miss you. But yeah, there has been a lot of people over here who has followed me, and I'm very grateful. And today I haven't decided, I haven't like planned anything right now, but I think I'll continue with the Affinity photo tutorial, I guess. So yesterday when we tried, it was day 1 of learning Affinity photo, and on day 1 I only wanted to do things that I can do without actually looking on tutorials and stuff. So we will start from there, and then we know what we couldn't achieve yesterday. We like ran into some problems yesterday, but since we couldn't look at the tutorials and stuff, so maybe we'll look for some tutorials and stuff on YouTube, and then try to replicate the situation, and maybe we will be able to create a better version of the thumbnail, or at least learn something new that we can utilize in like future processes. So yeah, so that's the stream is going to be, I think, today. And I was thinking like maybe we need to like stream game or something, because like I was sleeping and just woke up. Like I slept in the afternoon and then woke up like like about an hour ago. Yeah, so I wasn't like very fresh or something, so I thought maybe I should stream game, but then again I'm like trying to learn Affinity photo, like to create thumbnails, and it will be best if I like learn it as quick as possible, because the thing is like I have already unsubscribed, not unsubscribed, but my subscription ended for Canva, so I will just have a free account now, and I don't want to renew it. Same will be happening for the Filmora that I have. I do have like one perpetual license as well, so maybe we will use that. But the current Filmora that I was using, Filmora 14, is like subscription based. So it's my yearly subscription, which will end on December 15, I think. And I don't have any plans to renew that subscription as well. I'm trying to reduce subscriptions in my life, because I realized that I am like losing a lot of money due to subscriptions. And I know that they are useful tools, but like I want to be able to do things without the help of those subscriptions. And that's one of the things that is driving me to like learning Affinity Photo, learning DaVinci Resolve and stuff. And I will buy DaVinci Resolve, I think, just not yet. Maybe I'll need to learn and utilize the free software as much as possible first, and then we will like upgrade to DaVinci Resolve Studio, because I'm not sure like I will be able to commit to DaVinci Resolve completely. So I think I need to like test myself first, and then I'll finally like pull the trigger on purchasing DaVinci Resolve Studio. And like even if I don't switch to DaVinci Resolve, I think I'll still buy it just to support them. I like the no subscription method basically. So it's just to support that, I'll probably buy it. And by the way, that's the reason I bought Affinity Photo. Otherwise, like there are free softwares like that can almost do the same things, although they may not be like as intuitive or simple, or maybe easy to use, but they can do the job basically. And that's why there was no need for me to like actually buy Affinity Photo. I decided to buy it because it was a like one-time fee thing and not a subscription. I'll be doing this like for my entire life, I guess. I'll try to avoid subscription as much as possible, and I will support businesses that will provide options like one-time payment and stuff. And by the way, I'm not saying like all the subscription needs to end. Sometimes it makes sense. Like for example, if you're like, I have hosting purchases, I have servers subscriptions, which is fine. Like one of the subscription that I recently purchased is Hostinger, and I have Host Armada. So I have multiple hosting servers basically where I pay annually, which is fine, because hosting is not something that you can like buy once and you can use like for lifetime. It makes sense to like make them a subscription model. But sometimes, like for example, a software, I don't think like software should be like subscription unless it is like connected to cloud and I'm using their cloud resources. So yeah, that's my plan. I don't want to support businesses like that, and that's why I don't use Adobe as well. They are overly expensive and they are subscription based, so I don't like them. Okay, I think let's move on. Like first of all, I think I should show you guys what we did yesterday. The if you are watching on YouTube, the thumbnail that you just saw before clicking on this video was the thumbnail that we created using Affinity Photo yesterday. And let me launch the program, and I will show you. Where is it? YT thumbnails. Okay, found it. There's an update for Affinity Photo. Would you like to install the update from 2.5.7? Okay. So I'm updating it, like it's almost always like minor update, so it should be fine. And I'll show you guys the picture that we were like trying to create yesterday. So yesterday we were trying to like replicate this thumbnail, but for Affinity Photo basically, which is like being updated right now. So this is the thumbnail that we were trying to create, and we created the thumbnail, this one. So this is how much I was able to do without like looking at the tutorials and stuff. And today we will try to look at some tutorials and stuff and try to figure out things that we were not able to do. Hello, kya haal hai? Badhiya bro. So today what we'll do is, like, for example, one of the issue that I faced yesterday was not being able to like modify the color of the portrait over here, and not being able to like add the white outline that I use most of the times. And the third thing would be to not be able to like crop the imported image directly on the canvas without affecting the other parts of the image, although that might be possible just by locking all the other items while cropping. I am not too sure, but if that's the case, then it's not an efficient process. So there might be like something else, and we need to like look at it. क्या प्लान है, करना है तुम्हें गेमिंग स्ट्रीम? नहीं भाई, गेमिंग स्ट्रीम सिर्फ संडेज को होगा, जैसे मैंने बताया था उस स्ट्रीम पे, और वो भी गारंटीड नहीं है। या मैं भी अकेले कर लो ब्रो, मैं सिर्फ संडे को कर सकता हूँ, और वो भी गारंटीड नहीं है। आज कौन सा डे है? 12 दिसंबर, थर्सडे। मेरा मोस्टली सिर्फ संडे को होगा, वो भी लाइक गारंटीड नहीं है, डिपेंड करता है कि कितना काम वाम है या क्या करना है। Okay, so this today we will be able to look at the tutorials and stuff. So let's find out maybe like outline first, and then we'll move from there. Did I like click on something? Why is there like white line, visible line? Okay. Let me log these things so that we don't mess it up. मैं स्ट्रीम कर रहा हूँ प्लेग टेल ऑफ इनोसेंस। ओके, बढ़िया। Okay, now I'll switch to like my browser, and we will look at some tutorials for outlining. I don't know if you should like use Chrome, but I guess let's do it. Let's go to YouTube. By the way, this is also the thumbnail that I've created using Affinity. Although not completely, like I had to do it on Canva because I wanted to like do I wanted to like showcase all the learning process that I will be going through to you guys. So I decided to like do things only on this stream basically when it comes to learning Affinity Photo. Okay, our next step was to adding outline Affinity Photo. We couldn't do this, let's figure it out. So this is the thing that we are looking at. I know Affinity Revolution channel because I have like researched about Affinity Photo tutorials before buying the software, because learning myself would have been like difficult let's start with this and we'll try to create the outline in our particular thumbnail. And I will link to all the videos that I'll be watching. Like on YouTube, it's fine. It's like very simple. I can simply edit the description and add the link. And on, I think, Twitch, that's not possible. So I'll simply post the link in the chat window, and you guys should be able to like look at the live chat preview, and then you can like maybe on YouTube as well, I think. So I will paste the like link to videos that I'll be watching, so that you guys can also follow along and maybe support the channel that we will be watching right now. Wait a moment. Okay, so first of all, let's start with this one, I guess, because that's the first result.
Today,
I know this creator. I don't think. Okay, maybe let's subscribe to this this account as well. Although I don't watch from this account, YouTube, so that's why it's like not subscribed. I watch this creator already. I mean, I have subscribed to. I don't watch. I was like looking for creators who will help me learn Affinity Photo. So this, as you can see from the channel name, like this channel is all about Affinity software. So that's why it's one of the go-to choice for me right now. I have the volume was not too loud, although I think compressor is enabled and also limiter. So the only thing we are here to learn is the outlining thing, so that we can improve our thumbnail. And I'm sharing the link in the chat. You guys should be able to watch it. Outline tutorial by Affinity Revolution. Okay, there's a link in the chat. You guys should be able to like click on it and watch the video and support the channel.
show you how to outline the subject of your photo, and then how to add a border to your image. Let's get started. If you'd like to follow along with me, I've left a download link for this image in the video description.
We will follow along, by the way, but with our image, our thumbnail.
To start off this video, we're going to work on adding an outline around the subject of our image. To do this, we first need to make a selection of our model.
This is the older version of Affinity Photo, I think. Looking at the like interface, it feels like it. But I think the process should be similar.
Select the selection brush tool, and then I can go ahead and click and drag to make a selection. Remember that if you ever select too much, you can hold
it's
down
not going
Alt
to
or
be
Option on your keyboard, and then click to remove from your selection. Now, the key for this technique.
Okay, this is also something I didn't know. Alt and click will remove the thing. Okay.
Very smooth selection. We don't need to include all of the flyaway hairs because that will make the outline look a little strange. So I didn't include every hair in my selection, but I think that'll be just fine. At this point, go ahead and press Refine in the context toolbar. Now, to show you this a little bit better, I'm going to change the preview to black and white. If you zoom in here, you can see we have quite a few fuzzy and jagged edges. We don't want that when we're creating our outline. So I'm going to increase the smoothness. This slider will go ahead and smooth over all of those bumpy areas. However, there's a bit of a trade-off with this smooth slider. I'll go back to the overlay preview to show you that if you crank this too far, you start to lose key details of your subject and include too much of the background. So I'm going to decrease this smoothness.
That's not happening live, I think.
I think for this image, around 25 pixels looks pretty good.
By the way, I'm watching the tutorial completely because like I think I will be able to replicate without looking back at it again and again, but maybe we will be looking at it like again and again. I don't know.
Go ahead and
Let's continue for now.
So now that we have that selection made, I'm going to duplicate our selection onto its own layer. So I'll press Command or Control J to do that. Then I can press Command or Control D to deselect. So now we have our model on her own layer, and we still have this background layer separate. Because she's the only thing on this layer, we can go ahead and add our outline next. So go ahead and go to the FX icon and click on that. And then go down to where it says outline.
This was like easy, I think.
Click on that and check it on. And now you can go ahead and
we should have been able to find it.
To add an outline. You can really increase this, and you can even type in your own value if you want a very large outline. For this image, I'm just going
Although I did learn a few things like Control J would duplicate. I was planning to look at all the shortcuts, but I think it's better to like learn the shortcuts while going through some process. It will help you to remember basically, and reading a theory versus doing a practical type of thing.
An outline of around 50 pixels. Then I'm going to change the color to white. You can see that because our selection was very smooth, this outline also looks very smooth. So we've added the outline, but we can do more work to separate her from her background even more. The first thing I want to do is I'll select the background layer, and then I'm going to click on FX, and then I'm going to add a Gaussian blur. I'll go ahead and increase the radius to blur that background.
We don't need it because we have a PNG cutout, so it should be fine. We can simply start with the process of adding outline directly. I think we don't have to do anything else.
Transparent edges.
But this process is helpful if I use the original images that I have and then create cutouts from them, which I think I will be doing because I don't have cutouts for all the images, and also to be able to create a I think I'll also do a thing basically. Okay, here's the thing. Right now I have cutouts of PNGs, not all of them, but they don't have any outlines and they don't have color correction and stuff. So yeah, I think I'll create different variations of all the images that I have, and then I will keep them in separate folders for to be able to use them quickly basically, instead of doing it all the time.
Preserve alpha. You can go ahead and blur this background as much as you want. And you can see that as I do this, these little flyaway hairs that we didn't include now disappear. Another way to separate her from the background even more is to add some darkness to the background. I'll go to our adjustments and apply a brightness and contrast adjustment. Then I'll lower the brightness. Alright, this looks pretty good. Now, one last thing you can do to really polish off this outline is to go around and paint on the outline to fix any strange areas. For example, with this image, this hat area is a little tricky to get right in the selection. To fix that, I'm going to select our top layer and then add a new pixel layer. Now we can select the paintbrush tool, and we can go ahead and paint in white paint over that area to remove those background areas from peeking through. I have 0% hardness on my paintbrush to make sure that the edges stay nice and soft. And you can do this around the entire.
We don't need to be this precise because we are doing it for YouTube thumbnail, which is very small thing. It won't be visible But obviously if you want to like do it,
But
you
I
should
think in
do
this
it.
image, it really only needs it right up here. Now you can see the before and after of just cleaning up that edge. Okay, so we're done with adding an outline to our subject. So for this next part of the video, I'm going to show you how you can add a border around the outside of the image.
That
The
could
first
also
thing we
be
need to do
helpful.
is we need to
Let's
make the
look at
photo
it.
bigger so that we have a place to put the border. To do this, I'm going to grab the crop tool, and then I'll drag outward around all of the edges. Then I'll press apply. So now you can see we have this checker print background, and all I need to do is go up here to layer and add a new fill layer that we can put underneath our subject.
Okay, this
I'm
was
just
easy.
going to make this black, and then I'll drag it to the bottom. Uh-oh, we have a couple of problems. The first
outline.
problem is that we can see the outline on the bottom. That looks a little strange. Also, I don't think the border is even on all of the sides because I just freehand dragged out each of the sides. We can fix all of these problems though. I'm going to press Command or Control Z until our picture looks back to normal. So the first thing we need to do to fix that outline from popping out the bottom is we need to combine all of these layers into a single layer. Once you do this though, you won't be able to edit the adjustments anymore, so just make sure that you like how your image looks first. Then you can right click on any layer and then press Merge Visible.
Yeah.
Then I'm just going to select all the other layers and then I'm going to delete them. So since they're all on one layer now, if I cropped out, you can see that that white border isn't there anymore. So that's exactly what we want. But to get the border to be exactly the same size on each of the sides, we actually need to use a different technique than the crop tool. So to do this, there's a little hidden feature up here. Go to Document, then Resize Canvas. This allows you to add pixels to the sides of your image to expand your document. Just make sure to turn off this little lock button. Then you can click in here and right next to the existing size, go ahead and press plus 200. I'll do that to the other side as well. I want this size to expand from the center point, so I'm going to change the anchor to the center, and then I'll press resize. Because I typed in 200 pixels, we know that each one of these sides is exactly 200 pixels, which is perfect. So now all we need to do is add a color to the background. So I'll do the same thing I did before. I'll go to Layer, and then New Fill Layer. And then I'll drag this underneath, and we can make it any color that we'd like. And there we have it, the photo.
Okay, like I said, there's the link in the description, on chat. You guys can like go ahead and watch it if needed. Right now I'll switch back to like Affinity photo again, and then we'll try to like edit it. Okay, let me close the window. We are back. So if I remember correctly, which I don't think I remember, but it is what it is. I can select this layer and directly add outline, because we don't have to like make the background invisible or something, or maybe we need to, I don't know. Like, let's proceed with this step directly. We are obviously like not following the tutorial completely because of our different situation right here. We may also like use glow because I use it sometimes, but for now, like, let's go with outline only, and what's this? Duplicate effect. Okay, layer effect type. Okay, that was like not the option. Okay, blend mode normal is fine. Maybe it's not working. Maybe we need to like do the thing. Don't know. Outside solid. Okay, maybe not. Yep, maybe not. It's not smooth though. And I forgot how. Maybe opacity. How to make it like smoother. Maybe we need the selection to do that. Yep. So without selection, I will be like doing it on top of the PNG that I have, and it will also like, as you can see, capture all the hairs, and that would not look good, my friend. Yeah, I think we will need to like do the selection stuff to simply be able to like smooth things, smooth the outline for the hair part. This section over here. Although I'm like not too sad about it. To me, like it looks good enough. So we may even keep it. I don't mind it, to be honest. But if you like want very smooth line, then I should be like doing the, I think, follow the steps said in the video. I don't like pressing enter all the time. The values should be like set when I click outside with my mouse. Affinity, if you are watching, there you go, an idea. Yeah, I think I'm genuinely happy with it. Should we try this? Let's just experiment with it. I have no idea what this will do or look like. Oh, actually, this makes it even better. Be thankful that we tried it. Maybe 50 pixel. By the way, I'm just like kind of like to round up the number. Let's reduce the intensity a little bit because we don't want the focus to be like too much over there. We are just trying to like separate it from the background and to make it like look a little bit smoother. That's it. Nothing fancy. But this can be like helpful if you like want to try to highlight something. Like for example, when I create thumbnail for product unboxing or some products, tech products, then we can like create this kind of glow around the product to like highlight the product instead of highlighting myself. I think in situations like that, I'll create the outline with smooth effect by following the guidelines that was available in the video, that was provided in the video, and then proceed from there. And since we added glow, adding shadow wouldn't be like a good idea right now. And I don't know Gaussian blur what the hell this will do, but should we try it to see what this does? Okay, so it might be helpful if you like want to add a if you are creating a thumbnail where like you are showing some product but you want people to guess or be surprised or something, then you can like select the product and blur it. Inner glow, inner shadow, gradient overlay. Gradient overlay can also be helpful in some cases, I think. Scale with object. Let's enable this. Close. So that we can like manipulate the size of the image without losing the shadows and outlines. Glow and outline in this case. So we have already made some improvement over here. Like the next thing that I want was like to be able to customize the color of the image, which we tried yesterday and failed to do so. Although I did went for these options over here, like adjustment option, which I think is the option, but I have no idea how to utilize this to like color balance maybe. Okay, maybe we found it, I think. I should have like looked harder. But still I'm not good with colors, so I think I'll mess it up if I like do it without any tutorial. I'm not good with designing anything, to be honest. This is just me learning things. Maybe I'll reset to 0 if something makes it like look too bad. Okay. I do want the red to be a little bit up there. I think I will also increase the sharpness because of like on YouTube people create thumbnails like that. Sharpness for the image, by the way. Not increase, decrease the sharpness. If you look at the like Mr. Beast thumbnail, for example, he almost looks like a cartoon, to be honest, on thumbnail. So I will try to create something like that. If you can like guess, I mean, you can see what I'm trying to achieve here. I'm trying to like blend the image with the background of the thumbnail a little bit. That's the thing I'm trying to do here. Can we like disable it and see? Okay. Before, after, before, after. I just made slight adjustments to like make it feel like the picture was taken on this particular environment, kind of. Obviously I'm not an expert in this, but I think we have done good enough job over here. And next, I would like to be able to highlight this, to be honest, the Affinity photo logo, if possible. But I think it will look like a crowded thumbnail if we do it right now, because we have already done the same thing over here. So I'm not sure. I think it will look crowded because it already is, to be honest. Okay, let's go back to image again and let's find if we can like adjust the sharpness. Maybe not. There's levels. Black level, gamma level. I have no idea what these are. Let's delete it. Let's try again. Recolor, black and white, brightness and contrast. Maybe this thing will have softness, exposure threshold. Only brightness and contrast. I might reduce the brightness a little bit. Is it doing it for the entire image? Yes. I don't want that. Okay, is it also doing for the entire image? I hope not. Okay, I think it is doing it for the entire image. This is not what I wanted. So I think we need to look at tutorials. Okay, maybe we need to create a selection and then create a mask or something and then apply the effect on top of that masking. But for now, I think let's keep it. And the brightness adjustment thing. It looked a little bit better when I did it, so I think I'll do it anyway for now. But I did not like the idea that it was doing it in the entire image instead of doing it on top of image only. So we need to figure out a way to do that, and I think we need to look at some other tutorial to do that. Listen contrast. I was looking for it and it was there, but I was reducing the contrast may also improve it a little bit. Okay, maybe not. Increasing it makes it a little bit better, I think. Let's not do anything with it, just the brightness. Let's not do it too much. 10 should be fine. So this is the image. Although I wanted to do this only for this image, not the entire thing. We'll look at some tutorials to figure out how to do that. For now, I just created an outline, added a glow. That's an improvement that we couldn't do yesterday. And this thumbnail will be today's thumbnail. So let's look at some more tutorials, I guess, for now. Color correction. Affinity photo. I think it will again. So the tutorial will do it in the entire photo maybe. I want to do it in mask 101 for affinity photo. Maybe this is the tutorial we need right now. Stop cropping. I think this, okay, let me show you guys the thing before talking about it. I think this is something we need. Let's try this.
Okay, wow, this is impressive. So it actually recognizes the different objects. This works really, really well. So
Okay, I do have the Affinity 2.6, I believe. The latest one basically, because I just updated it. So again, where the hell this video is? Okay, got it. Sorry. Posting the link in the chat. You guys should be able to watch it. I'm Rinzi is the channel. Video title is like not video title is not describing the thing that we are looking for, so I think let's have just shared the like image. Also the chapter markers are like not good. Object selection tool from the tools panel, but that's like just selection thing, so maybe we don't need this one. We know how to select already. This is like auto selection tool. Okay, yeah, this video is not helpful for the current situation that I have. Close it. Mask may be useful. This may be. These as well. The thing is, I don't want to do it like in the entire image. The best way to, okay, maybe this one. Again, Affinity Revolution.
Today we're going to
Let me share the link. Sorry, I pasted instead of copying. The best way to color correct. By Affinity Revolution. For some reason I type everything.
learn the best
You
way
guys should be able to
color
watch the
correct
video.
skin, all with the power of Affinity Photo. I've left a download link for
This
the
is
photo
an
I'll
old
be
video, I
using in the
think.
video description.
People used to
Just by
like
looking at this
add
photo, you
intros
can see that
back
it
in
has
the
a
day,
blue color cast.
like that.
We know that we need to remove blue from the photo to color correct it to be removed. To know technique, what we're going to do
Is color correct the right
which
word
will
that
also
I'm looking
color
for?
correct the rest. Okay, we'll
Maybe
make a
not.
selection around a neutral part of your highlight. Do this, get out the freehand selection tool layer. by
Okay,
pressing
I think I
Command or
was
Control
right on
J.
that part. We have to like
Color
select,
to represent her skin tone.
create a
So we're
selection
going
layer
to average all of the colors in this
to
duplicate
not
layer.
affect the entire image.
To do this, come to the Filters menu, then go to Blurs.
Okay,
and apply
sharpen
an
is on
average
top.
blur.
Let me like give it a go before moving on. Let's try something. Although we haven't made any selection, I wanted to like this, see this thing over here. Filter, sharpen, clarity, and sharp. I don't know if it will work over here, but I hope it's not affecting the entire image. Okay, it's not. I'm trying to unsharp. Okay, I have no idea what is happening. Let's apply and see if it did anything. Okay, maybe it did. I don't know, because I think it's like directly applied in the image, which we were like trying to do. Okay, I don't think it did enough, because I cannot like see anything changing. Let's look at the other options that we have over here before moving on. Clarity, high pass, distort, noise. Okay, denoise maybe will help here, because like it's an image like taken with a 2 megapixel phone back in the day. Colors, yep, this is the color correction thing I think that I am looking for. Let's try denoise first. There's 2 more options. I don't know about them. But like Mr. Beast uses it. Going crazy with the value like usually gives you an idea of what is happening. Like this is definitely working like the thing that I wanted to do. Unsharp. Luminance contribution. Okay, you need to be at your best. Colors, no idea. Let's not go overboard and make it completely unnatural. Even though like I'm not understanding completely, but things are changing. My eyes are not good for that sort of stuff. It's definitely like a little bit of improvement. This preserves the detail and decreasing it like reduces. Let's keep a little bit of detail, but okay, this is the I don't like it to be honest, but people use it for some reason, so I need to learn it. Before, after, before, after. Okay, yes, I think some people will like it, especially female creators. So I think I need to learn it. Okay, let's keep it, I guess. Again, let's go to filter. The next thing that I want to try is colors. We have already tried auto labels and stuff, so we won't do that again. Chromatic aberration, maybe. Monocolor, emboss. Okay, I don't think we have like a lot of options. What if like I want to like completely manage things myself? I don't see an option for that. Deep fringe, I don't know what that will do. Multiply by alpha, press monochrome. Solarize. This might help, although I'm not too sure about it. Did it do anything? Maybe. Okay, so this is the thumbnail that we have improved so far, and that's 58 minutes of a stream. Like my target is to do it for 1 hour, so I think we are done here. But let's look at the tutorial and maybe we'll try something new. I think we have to like do the selection layer thing, and then we can color correct from here on this adjustment layer. I think it is similar, to be honest. Okay, not really. We have a lot more options over here. So I think, yeah, that's the best way to do it. Make a selection of the image, then create or duplicate layer or maybe mask layer, and then maybe apply the effect to that particular layer. Where is the auto selection tool? Or is it not available with this one? This is the tool that she was using, by the way. Flood selection tool. Maybe it's only on the beta version of the software. I don't have the beta version. I have the latest one, but not the beta version. I have 2.5.7. Okay, yeah. It's an upcoming feature then. Okay, let's go back to the tutorial.
By averaging all of the colors on our duplicate layer, we now have one color to represent the average tone of all of her skin. Next, we need to bring in a skin tone palette.
Okay, I think this is like very advanced thing. I don't need this one. I need to look for a simpler one. Although it is like useful thing. This is me, by the way. Where is the live icon? Okay, at the bottom. So this is the thumbnail that I'm currently using, and the one that I'm creating right now will be the replacement for it, as promised in my previous stream. Every day I'll try to create a new thumbnail, and that will replace my old YouTube thumbnail. Let's learn about masking. I think that's the tool that will help us do the thing that I want to do. So maybe this tutorial will like help me with that.
Masking is a crucial skill for any digital design program. It's a non-destructive way to remove parts of an image and add them back in later if you want to. Today we'll review the basics of how to use masks in Affinity Photo. So let's jump in. What's up guys, it's Trent, and today we're going to talk about how to create masks in Affinity Photo. So I'm going to assume you don't have any experience with masks, and I'm going to try to show their benefits and how to use them. Now I have this image here, and before we look at masks, let's look at maybe the current way you do things. So what if we wanted to delete the background from this car? Well, I could use my selection brush over here, and maybe I'd select whatever is the background. I can hold Alt to toggle back and forth and refine my selection. So I made a selection of the area I want to delete, and I can select my eraser brush now. And I can make my brush nice and big, and I can...
I've set the link in the chat again. You guys can go from here and
start erasing things I don't want in my image. And we get rid of all of it. So I'll hit Control D to undo the selection. And you can see I still have one image. Brush knife is the bound from this. I'm going to try to show their benefits and how to use them. Now I have this image here, and before we look at masks, let's look at maybe the current way you do things. So what if we wanted to delete the background from this car? Well, I could use my selection brush over here, and maybe I'd select whatever is the background. I can hold Alt to toggle back and forth and refine my selection. So I made a selection of the area I want to delete, and I can select my eraser brush now. And I can make my brush nice and big, and I can start erasing things I don't want in my image. And we get rid of
I think I was right.
So I'll hit Control D to undo the selection. You can see I still have one image here, and I erased my background.
But it was the selection,
but if we go
not
and we
mask,
zoom into the areas here, you can see I didn't quite erase very well. There's lots of gaps here. Down here, a whole section is missing. Over here, I forgot to erase some stuff, but it's fixable, so we can just say, all right, let's just use our eraser some more. And I accidentally took out too much of the wheel, so I just undo it. And I'll just have to keep redoing it again until I get it perfectly. Even that's not too great, but I don't want to risk erasing part of my wheel. So you can see we kind of have a problem here, and that is that once I deleted parts of my image, there's not really a way to get back to it. I can undo forever, but that's definitely not an efficient way to work. So I've restored my original image here, and let's look at how to do that with a mask instead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my selection brush again, and let's select the car. And now with my car selected, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a mask, and I'm going to do that by pressing this button here, which says Mask Layer. So let's press it, and now you can see my car is isolated from the background.
This I knew.
I'll undo my selection. And if I expand my layer here in the layer stack, you can see that my mask is here. And we'll look more closely at this in a bit, so don't worry if it doesn't make sense. So let's zoom into the car. And you can see we have a lot of the same problems that we had before. We took out too much here, too much there. We have some selections that aren't really done well. But the key thing about masking is that we didn't actually delete our data, because what happens is if I turn off the mask, you can see all my information is still there. My background image is still completely intact. So I'll turn the mask back on. Now what I'll do is that I can Alt click on my mask and you can see what it looks like. And what this is telling us is that black areas are being completely hidden and white areas are being completely revealed. And that's the way masks work in general.
So I can like brush on the black areas that got deleted.
Transparent and the white areas have our car. So I'm Alt clicking on the mask here so you can go back and forth. Now the really cool thing is that with our mask selected, I can select a paintbrush and I can paint on the mask. What I'm going to do is I'm going to paint white. And watch what happens over here. I'm painting the headlight back in. Let me undo that. I'll go back to my mask here. My mask had a black area there. If I paint white over it, this is what I was doing before. The headlight is there again. So when we paint white on a mask, it reveals the things beneath it. I can go and I can fill in this area. And the really nice thing is that if I fill in too much, I can go back and I can erase it with the color black. So I can kind of fine tune this even more. So I can always go back and forth between adding and erasing to get something more precise. Now one thing here is that my brush is very solid. It's one of the hard round brushes. I can actually make a soft brush too and do the same thing.
By the way, we also need to look at tutorials to like create
so
patterns.
I can gradually add in some of that white and then I can erase with my black.
Or I can use Inkscape to do that and then
I can fix an area
import
up here.
it.
I can paint it back in with white and I can overpaint a little bit and then I can erase with black again. Now when you first start working with masks, it seems a little awkward because you don't really know where you're painting. You kind of want to see this type of view all the time, but as you become more comfortable with the process, you start to get a better feel for using them. And eventually you don't even really use this view much anymore, but it's still useful to check out from time to time. Now you saw as I was going back and forth, I was kind of using black to paint out something, and then maybe if I did too much, I would select white to go back in. There's actually an easier way to go back and forth like that. So let me make one of these colors black and the other white. If you press Shift X, you can toggle back and forth between which of these you're doing. So if you're going back and forth between erasing and adding in a mask, this is a really easy way to toggle quickly back and forth. So I can Shift X, add back in, Shift X. Now I'm doing my black again. And when you hover the cursor over part of your image, you see a preview of what it's going to do. So right now, I can see that I must have black selected because I see a little bit of the eraser there. If I Shift X, now it's white. Now you see there's nothing there. If I go over my mask area, you can see this is showing me what it would do if I added it in. Now one trick I like to do when I'm masking is to add my own color backgrounds to an image because that helps me see what's going on more. Let me give an example. Let me turn off this background. Let me add a pixel layer. So let me drag this pixel layer to the bottom. And I'll fill it with green. Then I'll go and I'll turn my car back on. The thing I like about this
it will be visible
see some more of the
completely.
mistakes. For example, here's a problem. Let me go back to my mask. Make sure to select this as white. And I can go and I can paint it back in. And of course, if at any time you want to remember what your original image looks like, you can toggle the mask on and off. So let me do that here. And here I can see there's a part that I didn't notice before. So this should be painted back in. And this is a good example of overpainting and then switching and cleaning up with the black mode to erase. Now,
does the tablet
so
work, or the pen tablet with Affinity Photo? I don't know.
With my mask selected, I can go to Layer, Invert, and you can see it did the opposite.
If it does, then I may buy
So this is our background. So if you want to see what that looks like, I'll alt-click on the mask, and you can see it turn the part of the car black and the background white. But
I think I'll be doing a lot of
now the mask
brushing.
is a child of this image, but it can also be a standalone layer. So I can take this mask.
That would be like easier with pen tablet.
And you can see what it's doing is this also blocking
I can also do it with my mouse.
If I was to do something like draw a rectangle,
so I'm not in a hurry.
Under the mask is blocking out that part of the rectangle also. But I'm not really a fan of that, so what I'll do is I'll take the mask and I'll drag it back to the object there. You can also use shapes to create masks, so I'll select a rectangle over here, and I'll draw a rectangle around my car. Not my car, but a car. And I'll select the color to white. And what I can do now is I can right click on that rectangle and I can say mask to below. And you can see it masked in that shape. And the cool thing about this is that I can actually change it dynamically. I can move it around. And of course, if I don't like it, I can delete it. The shape doesn't have to be a rectangle. We can do something like an ellipse. So I'll do this, mask to below. And we have an ellipse. Now it is an ellipse right now, so if you wanted to paint on it, well, I would undo this.
I can think of using it like in some situations.
So I'll do that. And now I can actually paint on it and refine my mask. So say I want to add part of it back in. I could start doing things like this. And this would add to our mask. So our mask now looks like that. And I can always drag it into my object if I had more stuff going on and I wanted to isolate the effect more. Now one of the coolest things about masks is using them with gradients. So I'll add a mask to my car here. And I'll select the gradient tool. And I can just click and drag. And what you see is I get a varying level of transparency here. So the white part is totally solid, and as it goes down to the black, it becomes increasingly transparent.
This will definitely be very helpful for me in some situations.
I can do other types of gradients. I can do radial, kind of go like that. That's kind of cool because it gives it kind of like a faded effect towards the edges, and you could put another background in there. So let me do that. So I added kind of a starry background there, and you can see that the radial gradient is...
Okay, this one is definitely going to be helpful to me.
Now you can also use masks for adjustment layers. I have an entire video on adjustment layers, so if you want to know how they all work, check out that video. I won't go into too much detail here, but let's just look at a simple adjustment layer, which is hue, saturation, and lightness.
This is what we are looking for, I think.
And I'll select HSL. And let's say I want to make this car a different color, so I can select the yellow part of it, and I can rotate it around. Let's make it that pink color. That looks pretty different. So I'll close this. Now one problem is that this affected all the yellow in my layer. So for example, the yellow in the grass
so this is the problem that we are currently facing.
By default, an adjustment layer is a type of mask. So what I can do is I can select a brush, go to my black, let's zoom in here, and I can start painting out of it. And you can see here that there's a mask. If I alt-click on it, that's what I'm doing here. I can get a softer brush, do some more fine detailing. And let's say
so was there a mask already?
Layers, so if you want to know how they all work, which is hue, saturation, and lightness. So I'll click this adjustments here, and I'll select HSL. And let's say I want to make this car a different color, so I can select color. That looks pretty different. So I'll close this. It's also turn pink. Well, by default, an adjustment layer is a type of mask. So what I can do is I can select a brush, go to my black, let's zoom in here, and I can start painting out of it. And you can see here that there's a mask. If I alt-click on it, that's what I'm doing here. I can get a softer brush, do some more fine detail.
The thing that we are using right now, they are also mask maybe. The brightness and contrast and color balance adjustments maybe. Are they? If X. Okay. Make it white. Let's pick a brush. I have no idea, just experimenting. Okay, yes, it is. But how do I get rid of it now? I shouldn't have done it. I have no idea what I'm doing. Is it only doing it here or something? Okay, maybe black. Got it. So like if I paint here, it's like affecting this part of the image, right? And not the other part of the images. So I have to do the opposite, basically. I have to like not affect these parts. I guess. Judge me, okay? I'm new. Color balance adjustment. No idea what we did with it. Okay, in this case the images are fine, so let's not mess it up like by doing it too much right now. It's looking good enough, to be honest. Let's go through the tutorial completely and then maybe we can try something new. And I think I'm about to end this stream because like I stream 1 hour only. I had planned to like stream 1 hour only. So let's complete this tutorial and then I'll export that thumbnail that we created today, compare it with the previous one, and then update it on my YouTube.
There are definitely better ways to refine edges, but I'm just giving you some high-level examples in this video. And I could do the same thing over here. I could fix all this grass again. And now you can see the grass is back to its original color because I used the adjustment layer as a mask. Now while this works fine, I actually prefer to create a manual mask for my adjustment layers. I find it just gives me a little more options that way. So I'll undo this. So I got rid of my mask for my adjustment layer. What I'll do now is I'll just manually create a standalone mask for it. So I can click mask layer. And now what happens is I can actually expand it. You can see it a little more clearly here. And it's a little more easy to toggle on and off. So I'll go back and I'll mask out the grass. So this is my new adjustment layer with the manual mask I added to it. And I can easily toggle this on and off to see what I've done.
Yep.
So I do prefer manually creating a mask for adjustment layers, even though the adjustment layer itself is a mask. Now I recently made a video about all the adjustment layers in the Affinity programs. And one of the questions I got in the comments was, can you mask a blend layer? And the answer is yes, you can mask a blend layer just like you can mask any other layer. So let's look at an example here. I'll add a new pixel layer and let's fill it with gray. And let's set this to the saturation blend mode. So it's kind of towards the bottom. There. Now let's say I wanted the car to not have this effect. Well, what I could do is I could add a mask to my layer, and this mask is added to the pixel blend layer. So this layer is set to saturation, it's gray, so it's making the whole image gray. I'll select my car, and now with my car selected, what I can do is I can select a brush, set it to black, and I can just start painting out that mask for the blend layer. So my blend layer was desaturating my image, but then I added a mask to block out part of that blend layer so that now the yellow below.
Nice. I think I've learned a lot.
So that's really all you have
today.
to do to mask a blend.
Although I don't need them like to be used right now, but we can like experiment with everything that we learned. Maybe in the next stream. That would be day 3 of learning Affinity Photo.
And see you in the next video.
And yes, go ahead with the link and the chat, by the way, to watch them, subscribe them, and maybe support them. Yeah, I think this is it. Let's go back to my thumbnail over here. So this is the thumbnail that I created, and I haven't improved it a lot compared to the previous one, but I think it's a slight improvement. And we learned how to do the outline today. This is the main one that we created using Canva, but right now we are learning Affinity. Where is it? I have that one somewhere. Yeah. So as you can see, slight improvement. We have only worked on this area, to be honest. So I think we can compare it like this. So this is the improvement that we made. For some reason this looks a little bit wider. I think because of the outline and the glow. We also added a little bit of color to match the background. This looks very blend. And the green spill is also looking lesser now because of the thing, I think. Yes, I think this is definitely better. Obviously not like a very significant improvement, but good enough improvement. So I guess we did learn a few things today and was able to implement them. Now I'll export it. Give me a moment, and then we will apply it to like our current YouTube stream. Unfortunately, because of the size, I don't like because of the size requirement on Twitch, I like don't apply custom thumbnails over there. I have okay, estimated file size is 700 MB. It's KB, sorry. So it should be like able to. Okay, earlier before this we used to like create thumbnails using Canva, and Canva like sometimes exports the image over 2 MB and then Twitch says no, you cannot use that. So that's why I never uploaded any custom thumbnail on Twitch. Regular thumbnails. This would be learning Affinity Photo version 2 .png. So we saved the image, we saved the project. Let's close it. I'll go back to YouTube, find my stream. There it is. Let me change the thumbnail. Version 2 of the thumbnail is added now. Save it. There you go. So this is the thumbnail that we created yesterday, and this is the thumbnail that we created today. So not a very big improvement, but a little bit of improvement, and actually we learned a lot of new things that we did not use in the thumbnail because it did not make any sense. Maybe we'll do it obviously in later on when we will try to create something different. Like for example, when I'll create thumbnails for my tech channel, I think we will be able to experiment with most of the things that we have learned. And also if like we will create different types of video. For example, next video is, I think next video that I'll be editing is about I think it's about like PC fans basically, the review and comparisons and stuff, and probably installation as well. I don't know. So it's like PC case fans that I added later on my PC, and I haven't like created the video. By the way, the video was like recorded 1 year ago, but I did not post it. So like I'm getting rid of all the videos that I recorded but never uploaded, and I'm doing it by like publishing it on YouTube basically, instead of simply deleting them. So I don't care about the fact that like it's an old video. I just want to upload them and forget about it. So yeah, that's going to be the next video, I think, because it's like the longest video, because I was unable to like, it was also my first time installing the fans, so like and the guidelines provided by the brand was like very I guess unhelpful, and that's why it took a lot of time to like complete the project, and then the file size is like very long, and I'm trying to clear my hard drives and SSDs right now, so that's why like I'm getting rid of videos with large file sizes first, and that video is like very large file size at the moment, so I'll get rid of that one first, I think. Or it depends, I mean, in terms of urgency. If I like have to do something, then I will do something. If not, I will get rid of that video first, I think. Okay, yes, this is it. Thanks so much for watching, and maybe I'll stream some games, I don't know, after this one on Twitch. Yeah, this is it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.